In this video, I'm going to share with you my exact strategy of how I'm planning to build my $10 million cryptocurrency portfolio. This is not clickbait, I'm showing you exactly what I'm doing. If you're interested, keep watching. Hey guys, my name's Ravi Sharma and welcome back to Personal Finance with Ravi Sharma. If you're new here, we talk about cryptocurrency, real estate, and financial freedom. So if you're interested, definitely smash that subscribe button and drop me a thumbs up so we can share these videos out to more people on the YouTube algorithm. And look, if you are interested in learning about cryptocurrency, then definitely check out the playlist that I've created, Cryptocurrency Australia, which you can definitely access down in the link in the description below. So what is this strategy? Is this clickbait? Is he actually going to reveal what he's doing? And the truth is, yes, I am. Now, I have different portfolios for different things, and they depend on the period of time. So there might be a portfolio I hold for, say, the next 3 to 6 months. Then there's a portfolio that I hold for the next 5 years. And then there's a portfolio that I hold long term, right? And I've got no plans to sell. So the way that I work in each of those portfolios is different. What I'm going to focus on here is to bring you value by actually showcasing one of the most common strategies, but how you can use that in cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is actually phenomenal. There's a difference between what people think they can achieve by being in this long term versus being emotionally driven and paper hands to actually lose out and sell because they're scared that it's going to go to zero. So the most risk-free strategy, in my opinion, is actually dollar cost averaging. Now, I've got a portfolio where I just literally buy every single month a certain amount of the particular coins that I like to hold long term. So the way that this works is that you can basically set an amount that you want to spend every single week or every month, depending on how you get paid, and use that to then go and purchase as a very passive way of investing into, say, something like Bitcoin. Now, the reason why so many people can't stay with this long term, and you see a bunch of things saying,
oh, if only I purchased Bitcoin 10 years ago, I would be so-and-so millionaire now, and I'd have so much money.
The truth is, to actually hold through such a volatile period of time, it's not for the weak-hearted. A lot of people just sell out because they think it's going to go to zero, or they get to a number and they say, well,
you know, this is an amazing amount. It's life-changing money. So why not sell now? Maybe it'll come back down.
And because of this thought process and people not doing enough research, you end up losing because you're trying to beat the market. So instead, a really good strategy is dollar cost averaging. What I'm going to show you at the end of this video is how the importance of dollar cost averaging and not thinking about the price can actually record huge amounts of gains, and is exactly what I'm going to be doing in the next sort of 5 to 10, 15 years. And I'm going to show you exactly what that could look like. So instead of getting driven emotionally about the price, whether you should buy or sell, you could just set a reoccurring buy every single month or every single week and do that on a reoccurring basis as part of your long-term strategy for investing. Now, we're going to jump in here to CoinSpot, where you can basically do exactly what I'm doing, and it's so easy to set up. Now, if you are new here, there's a link in the description below where you can sign up with CoinSpot and get $10 free Bitcoin. It'll support the channel and, of course, helps you get free money. So let's jump in. Now, what happens is when you've logged into your account, you'll have the options up here to actually access reoccurring buy. So you go across here and you've got reoccurring buy. And when you come here, you've got the option for a couple of things. You can choose exactly which currency you want to invest into. So if that's Bitcoin, you could type in Bitcoin. If it's something else like Kusama, you can also go through here. So let's focus on Bitcoin for now because that's the most popular and everyone knows about it. And when you come across here, it says select the start date. So depending on when you're watching this, you could say, okay, I want to start this next month, and that's what I'm going to do at exactly what time you want to do it and how frequently you actually want to go and purchase. What this will do is you then allow yourself to say $1,000 a month will mean that you're going to make $1,000 purchases of Bitcoin irrespective of Bitcoin's price. So the easiest way to explain how this actually works is that you go in, you set this up, and it does it in the background. It means that you don't have to worry about it. And if you've done your budgets well, you'll basically get to a point where you'll know how much you've saved and how much you've got allowed to actually go and invest. Now, if you go into the section for help, you can also see how to set up the reoccurring AUD deposits. Now, it's actually super easy. When you're logged into mobile banking or online banking, you just go to transfer or pay and follow the prompts here. It is very, very easy to set up and is why I use CoinSpot. Now, it's all well and good. We can talk about dollar cost averaging and, it's a great strategy. I use it for my ETFs or my purchasing of shares. But what does this mean for, say, something like Bitcoin, where we don't really know enough about it? You may be watching this and hearing this for the first time, dollar cost averaging for Bitcoin purchases.
What the hell?
So I'm going to show you a site that you can definitely go check out, and it's actually quite fun if you don't get emotionally triggered. And I'm going to show you exactly what this could look like if you had been doing this for the previous couple of years. Now, keep in mind, we're looking at price history from before. Moving forward, I think we're going to have a law of diminishing returns, but I still think this asset class will far outperform anything else in the next 10 years. So let's jump in. So I've just come here onto dcabtc.com, dollar cost averaging Bitcoin. So let's use an example, right? Now, if we go ahead and we actually purchase $1,000 of Bitcoin every single month, what would that actually look like? So if we did this and accumulated this, say, 5 years ago, and we did this starting 5 years ago, then we can see the returns are absolutely insane. So over that period of 5 years, what this means is that every month we are going to put in $1,000. So $1,000 a month equals $12,000 a year, which would mean that our total invested is $60,000. Now, of course, we've had some crazy amount of growth. So after the 5 years, so if you had started, say, in May 2016, right now your portfolio, if you had not sold and continued dollar cost averaging in, your portfolio would be worth $1.2 million. Wowzers. Now, of course, we're using data from previous. It's not going to be reflective of what happens moving forward. And of course, the timing of when you start. So let's just use another example where if we just started, say, even 2 years ago, where we were in the bear market and now we're obviously in the boom cycle, the bull market, as some people like to call it. So if we started 2 years ago and we use the prices from 2 years ago, what would that look like? Now, this is $24,000 that we've invested, because it's 1 year is 12,000, 2 years is 24,000, and you've just set this as a reoccurring buy. And I've just showed you through CoinSpot how exactly you could set that up. And if you were to do that, your $24,000 2 years later, which would be now, would be worth $122,000. You can agree with me that there is absolutely nothing that's coming close to performing this well, especially in something as conservative as Bitcoin. There are some other cryptocurrency projects that have grown far quicker than Bitcoin, but I think for peace of mind, a lot of people should get started with Bitcoin. And of course, none of it's financial advice, but I think it's very key for you to start paying attention to this asset class. The way that I like to think about cryptocurrency is that I'm investing into tomorrow's future, into tomorrow's technology. And the fact is that it's already happening. There are crypto banks, they're offering passive income opportunities. And if you are interested in how you can earn passive income through cryptocurrency, then definitely leave me a comment down below, because that is quite often a sort of drawback for a lot of people going,
I don't want to invest into crypto. I could invest into ETFs and real estate because I get passive income.
Well, you can earn passive income through cryptocurrencies. So if you're interested, definitely leave me a comment down below. Now, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. You can play around with this actual site. You can play around with the numbers of what could have been. But I think it's very reflective of the fact that if you take a passive investing approach to even, say, cryptocurrency, the results are crazy. And this allows you to step away from the emotions of the market and someone tweeting and someone not tweeting.
Elon Musk.
But you are not affected by those short-term volatility. And this allows you to keep investing into what will be a large part of, I think, the future of currency and the future of finance as a whole. Now, I did share with you at the beginning of this video that I do have multiple portfolios, and some are based on short term, some are longer term, and some are really long term. And you do know that I actually invest in my personal name, in my self-managed super fund, and also some of my company funds. So I truly do believe in where this space is going, and I think taking an approach like this allows you to then focus on other things that bring you happiness and, that balance in life. I think when you're looking at any asset class for the first time, it's always going to be scary. But if you can employ actual strategies that you've become familiar with in, say, ETFs or acquiring shares, then I think you become a lot more comfortable with the risk versus reward of this space. Now, you can play around with this calculator. Not everyone's got $1,000 spare every month, but then there's others that have a lot more than that. So it's definitely cool to check out. I know for me, I want to be holding this long term. And I think if you're still skeptical around Bitcoin and if this is all a scam, just actually go out there and do some research. Actually figure out how big these projects actually are and why this is no different to what people have been saying is,
oh, like it'll be the dot-com bubble and everything's just gonna collapse.
well, everything's got cycles, right? And just like Apple, just like Amazon, and just like these big shares all had this collapse during the dot-com bubble, you would love to have purchased back then, rode all the way up and down in the crash, and you'd still be significantly higher today with today's prices. So definitely go and do your research. I've got a playlist here, so you can definitely check that out, and I bring out videos every single week, so definitely consider subscribing to the channel. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks, guys.